For the left hand, for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you saw that I had done kind of a higher energy broken left hand chord. There are a few different options that you can do. So if you're still fairly new to playing the piano and you want to just keep it simple, all you need to do is play the C and the G and hold it. It sounds just fine. And then on nose, you're going to move the pinky down to the B. Again, this is the reason why it's helpful to sing along, because you can kind of track where you're at. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny... And on nose, you swap down. Nose. If you've played Ode to Joy, it's just like that. So the pinky goes up, the pinky goes down. Now, as you go into sentence number 2, in the right hand, that left hand will stay right down there for the beginning. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it. Sorry about that. And then the thumb is going to come up to the E there, and while it does that, the left hand is going to come up to the C. So we've kind of just swapped out the left hand. So for the sentence 1, it started on CG. For sentence 2, it went down to BG. Then for sentence 2, it started at BG and it went up to CG. Okay, so then you would repeat that again for the second round of sentence 1 and 2. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him. Here it is, the last word of that first sentence. Names. Down you go with the left hand. Move the right hand into position 2. Stay down there. They never let poor Rudolph join in any rain. Stretch up. And then as you come down to the C here, match with the C in the left hand. Okay, so that would be the way to do, the simplest way to do the left hand for Rudolph, and that's perfectly fine. Now, if you want to step that up a little bit, try using full chords in the left hand. So when you're going up, when you're playing the C, you're playing C, E, G. But when you go down there to the pinky on B, you have to play the F here. This is called a G7 chord. So you're going from C to G7. So you might want to try that a few times to get that really comfortable in your hand so that you can actually do that on the fly. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. Down to sentence 2, stay on the G7. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it. Remember the E here blows up to the C. So that left hand changes again on the last word of your sentence. Back to sentence 1. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. Down to sentence 2. They never let poor Rudolph join in any rain. Stretch, dear games. Now that stretch is always going to probably, at the beginning, you're going to put in a little bit of a pause as you find it, but you definitely want to make sure that you can do that without the pause. Okay, so practice just that section. Okay, so that would be how the left hand would go. That's kind of an intermediate way of playing the left hand. The demonstration now was when we actually broke up the left hand. So this is significantly more difficult. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend trying this. It's going to be very hard to match up the beats. But if you've been playing piano for a while, especially if you've been playing something like the Blue Danube, that one, this is similar to that. So try using your intuition and just put the hands together. So basically it's just the left hand is going to play 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be sentence 1, sentence 2 with that left hand. If you have to parse that out and break that all up, then you probably aren't ready to do that. So if you can listen to it though, and you can just give it a shot and kind of try that, then you're probably ready to do that with the left hand, because there is that little bit of syncopation there at the beginning. So I mean, I can explain that here, but if that is too tricky for you, maybe just come back to this when you have a few more skills under your belt. So it would be the right hand plays right away, and then the left hand comes up and finishes the chord. And then they come together on the E. There's just a little bit of back and forth there at the very beginning because we've got some eighth notes in the right hand. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, oh, sorry, and play again on the 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on 3 and 4 they're together, but other than that they're offset for the first 2 beats. If that's too complicated, leave it, just play the solid chord or try something completely different. I mean, there are other options that you could do. You could try breaking up the left hand and see how that sounds. And then you would have to break up the new chord. Now that isn't any simpler, but go ahead, try out different things. There are all kinds of different options that you could try there in the left hand.